Hey, welcome back everyone to Jenkins Locks. This is Don. This is going to be episode 2A in the Jenkins Locks and Geekdom collaboration of hosting your own website in Google Cloud for free. And when I say 2A, this is going to be the Windows edition of installing the Google SDK command line interface and accessing the VM from there, or virtual machine. 2B, which I'll put a link maybe here or down in the description. 2B is going to be the exact same thing except for on Debian Linux. So if you're a Windows fan, stick with this one. If you're a Debian fan, Linux fan, go ahead and check out the link. Please, as always, consider liking and subscribing to both. So with that, let's get started. Let's pull up the browser here. Nope, don't want to go there. Oh, caps lock. Okay, so we want to search for Google Cloud SDK. Don't want to switch. It's just a VM. Okay. So hopefully you'll get something like this. If not, I will put this link in the bottom in the description to take you right here. So a lot of fascinating reading over here. Yeah, real fascinating. So I'm going to scroll down, and you can see here is all the different OSs you can select. In this one we're going to go Windows. Now, some of you guys may be PowerShell fans like I am. This installing this way did not work for me. I'll tell you why. It requires a version of Python 2.7.x. I installed every version of .x there was, and once it was installed, it did not work at all. Had to modify path variables, all the deep geek stuff. This one, though, is really straightforward and simple. So let's take a second. Gotta open up. No. Okay. I agree. Go ahead and do it for all users. I do use a lot of different usernames on this VM. A lot of different websites. So, go ahead and do that. Okay. So right now, the space on this VM free is 2.4. It says this is only going to require 89 megs. Now, the one thing I found out about installing this is that's a lying number. That's only for this part. Each stage seems to add like a bunch more information on there. So keep this in mind, 2.1 gig. And I'm just pointing this out because of space requirements. Obviously, I'm doing this on a virtual machine, so I can easily go in and increase the hard drive space. But if you're doing this on a physical machine, you know, space drive is your hard drive space is limited. So just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and do beta. I like testing things out. Install. Now it kind of went really fast there. This part takes quite a bit of time. So I'm actually going to pause it here and resume once it's done installing. And keep an eye on the time. Right here it says 4:23. We'll see how long it takes. Alright, so that just finished up. So, you know, not too bad. Under 10 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm gonna go next. Yep. So now next thing this is going to do is it wants to link the SDK CLI to your Gmail account. So let's go ahead and do yes. And let's pop up a web page for us and have us log in. Okay, just telling you everything it wants to access. That's fine. Now it'll go ahead and bring you back to here, but you need to switch over to here. It won't pop you back into the command prompt here. So here's a project we want to go with. Let's go to. Yeah, we can go ahead and configure the zones. So this is just basic U.S. time zones. Kind of did a little bit of reading on what the ones and the letters, or the numbers and the letters mean. It's something about if you're resource intensive, you need to go on one for more, for more memory resource intensive, or one or more bandwidth intensive. Honestly, this is going to be so small we don't even care. So I'm just going to go, you know what, 5's good. Okay. Now see, it says here, run gcloud help. So that gives a whole bunch of great stuff, but what we really want, let's get all that. Let's go back to this authentication screen because we're now logged in. Let's go to our console, and this will be the same console where we set up the VM in the first video. Okay, so we want to come up here to the menu, go down and find the compute engine, and then go to VM instances. Okay, so WordPress, this is the server we set up in the last video. So some information here. This is the internal IP address in Google's network, and here's the static external IP. So now how do we connect to it? So you got a bunch of different options here. I've messed around with a few of them. Each one's got its own quirks, but the one we're really wanting here is the gcloud command. Sorry. Okay. Oh. So let's see what. Okay, so when we started this install, we had oops. Where'd you go? We had what, like 2.3, 2.4 gig free? So remember that Windows said is only going to take 84, 89 meg. Well, that's fine, but then once it installs everything else, you know, that's a gig, almost 2 gigs, well, gig and a half. So again, that's where I'm just saying, you know, keep an eye on your storage here. But for the intents and purposes of this, we're fine. Now here, you may be tempted to do the Control-A to highlight everything. For whatever reason, that highlights all random stuff. So you just want to get this command, highlight everything there. Sometimes a right click and copy works. Sometimes you gotta do a Control-C. It just depends on how the wind blows. Now you do have one option down here. This is okay if I guess you gotta do something really quick. Go ahead and pop it here. It opens up a little. Yeah, okay. I guess it sets up kind of a virtual shell machine. I haven't been impressed with it. I mean, if that's easy enough for you, go for it. But what we're gonna do is go to the desktop. You should see the Google Cloud SDK shell. Gonna right click, you want to run it as administrator. So paste that command, and all these warnings is just saying this is the first time this machine has connected to our virtual server. So it doesn't have the SSH keys, all that data exchange. So that's what it's going to set up now. So right now it's telling the Google Cloud, that virtual machine, hey, we're known, here's our information. So once you do this once, you don't have to go back and do it again, unless you're doing it on a different machine. Okay, so it pops up a couple windows here. But let's go back to this one. And we do want to cache that so it's faster in the future. If it will let me type. Now this is embarrassing. Okay, let's just go ahead and close that out. So now if you look here, that's this computer, and that's our server out there. So we can do a sudo ifconfig and verify that we are connected to that virtual machine. If we come back here to the console, internal IP is 10.150.02, 10.150.02. So we are connected to this virtual machine. And as with any operating system, as soon as you install it, guess what you gotta do? Sorry about the cursor. So we're going to do a sudo app-get update. This is going to refresh the repositories. And then second, we're going to do upgrade. And that's going to go out. We could have deployed this virtual machine 5 minutes ago. You still have to do this. So, okay. And this will take a little bit. And the reason is the images that you deploy a VM from, a virtual machine from, they don't update those real time. So, alright, looks like we didn't have much to do, which is awesome. Even though we just installed everything, it still had to go and update a few things. So, so that's this portion. So in the first video, we got the Google Cloud account set up. Second video, 2A, is setting up the Google Cloud SDK shell, the command line, so that you connect into the operating system of that virtual machine. 2B, which is over on Geekdom, is doing the same process but on Debian. Windows, Debian, you know, Microsoft, Apple, you know, it's preference. For me, it's a lot more not as fluid on Windows as it is in Debian, but that's personal preference. In, you know, my day job, for 20 years of being in IT, I did a lot of command line, so Linux is a lot easier for me. So go over. I'll put the links in. Go over, watch the Debian version of it. Make your choice which one you want to do. In the next video, we're going to go through setting up the actual WordPress software, website, the database server, and getting this up on the internet. So that may be one video, maybe two videos. Just have to see how long it takes to actually go through the whole process. Question, comments, please put them down in the comments below. Anything you want to see, anything at all, just let us know. We love the feedback. Appreciate you guys watching. Again, please go over to the other channel and see that version. Please do hit that like and subscribe button, and let us know what you guys think. Appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.